Hey everyone, it's Elite Praetorian here. Wow, the Bad Batch has been more than I could have expected from this show. It's full of highs, lows, wild rides, but we're approaching the final, and there's about, as I'm recording this, about 25 and a half hours before the Bad Batch final releases. So yeah, we're all expecting the show to go out with a bang, maybe leave us with a cliffhanger, but most of all, what most of us are probably looking forward to is wanting to know who survives and who dies. So, in preparation for the final tomorrow, all the higher chance you'll be watching this to see how wrong I was. I'll be breaking down who I think won't make it into season 2 and end their journey here. So let's just get straight into it. Starting off with Ekko. So I've rated Ekko a 1 out of 5 star chance of dying, so that's not very high, obviously. To be honest, I don't think Ekko is going to die at all, but there are a few reasons and a few inclinations that is pointing to him perhaps being killed. Although arguably Ekko has the most practical use, he is arguably one of the weakest of the squad physically, because he is not genetically enhanced like the others, and this makes him a massive target for Crosshair, who has expressed his distaste in Ekko ever since he joined the squad. Another reason Ekko might die this season is because of his arm, his tools. They may be needed to stay behind and allow the other characters to escape, although I feel like there may be another character that can fill that role better, but we'll get to that in a minute. Why I don't think Ekko's going to die? Well, he is the newest addition to the squad, and that would severely undo the work done in those first 4 episodes of Clone Wars Season 7. There's also been little character development of Ekko, and that is just a personal opinion. I know lots of you will probably disagree with that, but I feel like it would waste Ekko's future, perhaps more meaningful character arcs, and would disrespect perhaps those hardcore Ekko fans who were so happy for his return in the Clone Wars like myself. Moving on to the next character, this is a handful. AZI-3452118962464987213447, also known as AZ by Omega. I have rated AZ a 4 out of 5 stars. Out of everyone in this list, I think AZ will have the highest chance of being killed some way or another. AZ is, as hard as it is to admit, dispensable in the context of the Bad Batch, of course. There is nothing left for AZ except for Omega. AZ is the last link to Omega's childhood, if you want to call it Omega's childhood. To be honest, we don't actually know how old Omega is, but that's that's another topic. But AZ dying provides a last nail in the coffin as a touching moment showing how Omega is leaving her old life behind. And AZ also knows Kamino very well, and will probably be vital to escaping through some hidden method, but it may require him to stay behind. Although on the other side of that, the Bad Batch could use a droid, or especially someone to operate the ship. And looking at it from a production kind of point of view, there have been a few episodes where a few characters have been left behind to look after the ship, and this would remove that issue of not having the Bad Batch altogether in an episode going off for their various arcs and adventures. And another reason why AZ might not die is it would just be cruel to Omega. I mean, Omega's been through enough, and I don't think anyone really wants to see Omega get any more hurt than she already has been throughout the season. Moving on to our next character, we have Tech. I've rated Tech a 3 out of 5 stars. So why I think Tech will die? Well, I mean, Tech has the most technical use to the Bad Batch. I mean, it's literally in his name, so this might lead him to sacrifice himself and stay behind because of something that only he can do. Also, as I said before, Ekko could fill that role, but Tech could probably fill it better. It also could be used to provide a great emotional moment with an intense debate between him and the rest of the Bad Batch, and Tech as they try and find another option, but end up realizing it's the only way because Tech is right, and Tech is always right. There's also been a lot of character development for Tech this season, and I feel like this would be a great way to kind of end his journey, saving his squad and having to unfortunately leave him behind, but make one last sacrifice. However, on that note, there is still a lot of room that Tech could develop character-wise, and I feel like there's still a lot of him that could be explored. And this is just a personal want here, but there's definitely an opportunity of a power struggle between him and Hunter that could definitely be explored, as they both have high leadership attributes, and seeing them clash a little would, I don't know, just maybe add another storyline next season. And also, the Bad Batch need Tech arguably the most out of everyone. Killing him off would only limit Filoni in adding that extra flair in future episodes as Tech pulls off one of his amazing plans as he comes up with everything on the spot. Moving on to Hunter, I've rated Hunter a 2 out of 5 stars. Now, a lot of discussion online when I was researching for this video, a lot of people think Hunter is going to die purely because of the fact that he is the mentor figure. Star Wars and movies in general have a major obsession with killing off the mentor character, as it provides motivation for the characters, I guess, under him to do something more, continue, or fight harder. But on the other hand, there is no motivational aspect that would be needed. There is nothing to motivate Omega to do because their only goal right now is getting off Kamino without dying, basically. However, his death would also cement the Bad Batch as one of probably the darkest canon Star Wars media, which is definitely a goal of Dave Filoni and his team, as we've seen multiple moments that are definitely different from the other animated series that we've seen in Star Wars so far. Also, another point that I feel like a lot of people have neglected is the context that we are in right now. He's just been captured, and that is the only reason why they went back to Kamino. Killing him off would make zero sense story-wise. It's not satisfying to the audience, and it would just end up leading to another pointless mission that only ends up harming the main storyline. I do think Hunter has a reasonable chance of dying at some point in the Bad Batch, but I don't think it will be this season, especially under the circumstances that the Bad Batch are currently in. Moving on to Riker. Now, I've rated Riker 1 out of 5 stars. There's really only one reason why I think he would be killed off, which would be to create that emotional moment for the audience. And seeing Omega's reaction to it, especially if she's there, will definitely make for a final touching moment for Riker. However, he's already been through that whole chip malfunctioning thing, and I don't think they'll kill him off with that. He's been too close to death to basically do a full 180 and change that. And also in respects to Omega, Filoni isn't that cruel, is he? Right? Moving on to our next character, and this will probably be a shock for a lot of people what I'm rating this. So I'm rating General Rampart a 0 out of 5 star chance of dying. Now, so many people online saying that General Rampart is going to die, he's a goner, there's zero chance of him surviving, and I don't think he is gonna die. Like, look at it this way: they wouldn't kill off one of the main villains of the first season of a brand new era of Star Wars. Oh, no, but in all seriousness, unless this episode is like an hour long and there's a sudden diversion where they fly up to the Venators and take that down, there's no chance of him being in any sort of danger, especially with that current goal of the Bad Batch wanting to get off Kamino, and I don't think they'll want to get off Kamino and just run straight into, the force of the Imperial Army. I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, next up we have Omega. Omega is the breakout star of this show, and some would argue is probably the main character. I've rated Omega, like General Rampart, as 0 out of 5 stars. Look, they're just not going to kill off Omega. There's a 0% chance it's going to happen. She's the new main character of the series. Her story's only just beginning. It would be like George Lucas killing off Luke in A New Hope, and then focusing the story around Han Solo. It's not plausible. It's not a good decision, and it's not going to happen. Now, our final character of this list, we have Crosshair. Now, I've rated Crosshair 2 out of 5 stars. I was very conflicted of whether I should rate him a 2 or a 3, but I thought I'd just give him the benefit of the doubt and go for 2 stars. It really all depends on 2 factors of whether Crosshair lives or dies, and that's whether Crosshair wakes up and whether he's willing to switch sides to the Bad Batch. He seems pretty keen to stay on the side of the Empire, so there may be some kind of final battle where he ends up dying, but I can guarantee he's not going to go down without a fight. He will probably take down someone with him. However, if he doesn't wake up, by the small chance he doesn't, or he switches to the main side of the Bad Batch, then there would be no way they'd kill him off. Killing the main villain off right after their redemption would just be a really bad move. But yeah, there's just more to Crosshair's struggles that we haven't explored yet, and I don't think his story should be over. Filoni has a talent for adding rich backstory to a character and motivation and developing him, and we've seen that throughout his works in Star Wars so far, and Crosshair is just rich, full of possibilities of what they can do with him, whichever side that he decides to take in the future. Now, one final ranking here. I know they said that was the last character, but I've decided to rank the overall chance of someone actually dying. And I've given that a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm still not convinced anyone will actually die in the Bad Batch. I know I've said that people are likely to die, but that's based off the fact of they're only likely to die if someone is going to die. Um, why I think someone will die, why it's kind of reasonably high, is there needs to be consequences for the Bad Batch, especially in such an intense situation like this. I find it hard to believe that everyone will miraculously escape alive, and that Crosshair will turn, especially after he believes that they all betrayed him. It would just seem too perfect, and I don't think it will be done. If it is how it ends, of course, then that's great, but I don't think they'd waste this opportunity for another huge emotional moment. However, some would argue that that would be the destruction of Topoka City and Kamino. This series, especially this arc across episodes 14, 15, then the final tomorrow, 16, it's very dark, it's very cinematic. You could probably combine them all and make a movie out of it. It's the end of the Clone Wars era, and we're just generally moving into a darker time period in the Star Wars universe. So if they want to cement this as a bit darker than most Star Wars media, then this is one of the ways to do it. Although it is not the only way to do it. Although I do think that they've proven themselves that this is a great series and that it is a bit darker, but it would just add that final touch. Why I don't think someone would die is this is really just the start of the Bad Batch's journey. We haven't seen much of them in the Clone Wars, and what we have, people have been generally happy about it. So I think when planning the series, they would have want to continue that and just make the most out of it, really. And there's just so much more room for character development across all of the characters. More connections being built between us and the characters, especially. And hey, look, it's only season 1, okay? If no one dies at the end of this, if it comes down to tomorrow, and everyone escapes alive, look, don't worry, there's still more time for them to start pulling out the big moments. And I can guarantee you, Filoni will deliver. So yeah, that is my list. I've reached the end of my long, expansive notes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you disagree with me, or if you agree with me on anything, make sure to leave a comment. I'm always open to discussion or to hearing what you guys are wanting to say. So yeah, thank you everyone who has made it this far through the video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of this type of content, then please hit the like button or subscribe button down below. It would really mean a lot. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you, hopefully, in the next video. And good luck for the final tonight. Alright, bye.